How's it going? Motor City Miner here, coming at you from the house. We are here today because I need to grab some GPUs as part of this giant overhaul of rearranging GPUs and new GPUs coming in and old GPUs coming out. But I need to grab the GPUs from my pride and joy, my at-home miner. That is my favorite. This is by far, I made this way back in Farm 1.0 days when I was solely in this house, solely to get as much GPUs in this house as possible. And well, the wife would not let me put any miner on my first floor unless it was disguised as something. So this is my space heating end table, or at least that's what I like to call it. Love this thing. It's just cool little thing I made way back in 2020, 2021, maybe. I can't even remember anymore. Took a bunch of time. It's not even like the most powerful. I think there's only 5 GPUs or whatnot in there, but I just love how it turned out. I don't know if anyone else has ever tried to disguise a miner of any type, but you know, like I said, had to mine everywhere, and I actually still use this to this day for heating on the first floor in the winter. Yes, I just turned it on. Yes, it's summertime, but that was just, you know, for interest in this movie. But again, it has 5 6700 XTs in here right now. I'm going to be moving those over to the farm. So I thought it was a good opportunity to go over this cool machine and kind of show you what it's all about. I mean, it is very unique, and like I said, pride and joy right here to this day. It's my favorite GPU mining rig, and that's just because of the amount of effort and time I put into this. I will disclose, I did not, you know, like finish the wood or anything. I had someone else do that. But, you know, all the dimension and design and adding all these panels and all the buttons, you know, definitely me. But I'm not a woodworker, so I did have someone do that for me, and they did a great job. I just needed it to be a certain size box so I could fit my rig inside. A couple other things about this. So it does have grills on the back as well, which I'll pull this out and we can see it a little better. But essentially it sucks air in the backside, and then there's 2 large fans on the backside, and then you kind of see these 2 here, which pump out the hot air into the space. So let's I'm gonna turn this off now, move it out from the wall, and start opening it up for you guys. All right, so we're back, and I got this thing pulled out from the wall. You can see where it was, and man, is this filthy. And we clean this pretty often, but you know, when you have 2 dogs and a cat, you can never dust often enough. But as you can see, this is clearly the intake side. The grate I have does a good job of preventing it from all getting inside. So that is why we have this. I have this grate, but it does need to be wiped pretty frequently. So I'm gonna have to get the vacuum to vacuum this off. And you can kind of see a little more down here. This is actually the PSU, which once I take off these panels, we'll be able to see a little better how it actually works in there. A couple other things to note that I did on this machine, just to make it a little more user-friendly for in the household, is I actually have a dongle coming down. It's a 90-degree in there, which comes down through this hole. And then that way I can unplug it without having to open up the machine. I can just quickly detach the C19, C20 cable right there, and then, you know, move it if needed. So we're gonna get the vacuum. I'm gonna clean this up, and then I'm also gonna take off some panels, and then we'll be right back. And there's the cat that lots of this fur comes from. All right, so we're back. You can see I got off a bunch of those panels. So this is actually a standard like rack width. It's 19 inches. So those are just 19-inch and also varying U dimensions. The overall unit that I had them build for me, this is a 10U height. And then I have the different panels depending on where fans are and whatnot. So there was that solid panel here, force all the air to come out where the fans are. You can see there's also 1 GPU down below in the last PCIe slot on this specific motherboard, and then the rest, the 4 up here, are on risers. So thought it'd be interesting to show you guys kind of how this all turns on. So I do have this little button that I drilled through this U panel here, just a standard little power button, plugs into the motherboard here underneath that graphics card. So just by, you know, pressing that button, everything turns on, or you can turn it off if it gets too hot in the living room, so to speak. I have everything just, you know, automatically start mining everything just by turning on. And then from the back side, this is what the back side looks like. I didn't take off all the panels here, just because I actually tend to slide the unit out the front when I need to service it. But you can see these are the two intake fans, and then that's the PSU down below. And then this is that 90-degree connector I got for this guy. So 90-degree comes down through that hole there, and then like I said, it has the connector there, so I can quickly unplug it without having to open this up. So that's kind of the whole machine. Got a nice 1300 watt power PSU in there right now. So I'm gonna turn this off and we're gonna take it out so I can start getting off those graphics cards. It's starting to ramp up and start mining. So I'll turn that off here. But yeah, other than that, we're gonna pull this out, clean it, take out those graphics cards, and I'm gonna actually be putting some 2070s in here. There are just kind of 5 leftover 2070s after all this rearrangement of GPUs. I don't really have many 20 series anymore, but I do have 5. They're small and they only take one 8-pin, so they'll be nice for this unit going forward. And we're back. So this is actually the whole unit itself. You can kind of see all this 20 millimeter, can't remember what it's called, just this steel that you typically see like maybe a 3D printer made out of. So I have this box shape that I made essentially and mounted all the things to. So yeah, that was what was in there. I got 4 more ASRock. I do have to take off the one that was down here to unplug the power button. It's just kind of difficult to get to those with that in there, so he's already off on the ground over there. But yeah, this is kind of the whole unit now out of the box. You can kind of see, so motherboard is pretty centrally located on some standoffs in there. Got the little pin here, you know, to mount that one graphics card to. These all get mounted onto some brackets over here off this rail. So you can see those down below, so I'll have to take those out to get this out. And then yeah, all the risers come up from, you can see it kind of on this side. So we got 3 X1 risers, and then there is hidden in there an M.2 riser way back there. So those are the 4 risers, and then like I said, this front slot, I've been adding that 5th GPU just to get as much as possible on here. Because like I said, back in the day when Farm 1.0 was only in this house, tried to mine wherever I could. Don't have the biggest house, don't have that many circuits, so this was a solution at the time. But like I said, I love this thing. It looks good. Most people have, well, nobody knows it's a miner. Most people are like, what the hell is that? Like thinking maybe it's a speaker or a subwoofer or something for our sound system here on the first floor. But no, it is a crypto miner inside of a wood box on a little like stand. So it's an end table, and you know, works well. My wife puts her books on there, which is what's on there at the beginning. And yeah, so that's it. So I'm gonna be taking off these GPUs. Once these are off, we're gonna go blow out all the dust on this machine. Might as well service it while I have it out. And then we'll be putting the 2070s on next. All right, well, it is raining outside, so I guess we're gonna do this on the porch. So.
should be pretty good for now. I did notice when I took this out that, wow, look at these old risers. I mean, only 3 capacitors. These are like from 2020, and man, risers changed a lot in the last bull run. So we're gonna throw in some newer ones with 10 capacitors. But yeah, it's been a while since I've really worked on this machine. So we'll be back inside in a moment. Yeah, so this is what I had in that machine. These 3 tiny capacitors, you know, has Molex, SATA, and 6-pin, and you know, just generally pretty old school 1003E version. And then there's this. I mean, it's crazy how much 2 years did in the last mining run to risers. I mean, this V11 Pro, you know, has all these lights on it for different diagnosis, 2 6-pin inputs, no Molex or SATA, because, you know, that's just dangerous. And then 10 capacitors versus 3. 10. And they're much bigger. I mean, it's just almost ridiculous how different these are. Plus, you know, the steel, aluminum around this for durability. These are just so much nicer. So definitely we'll be putting 4 of these in that machine here. So yeah, we'll be back once those are all in there. All right, so we got this back together now with our nice new, it's hard to see them, but new risers. So excited those are in there. Got all our GPUs, all 4. Luckily these 2070s all are only 8-pin, so I actually was able to eliminate some wires in here, so it's a little less dense. We do got our one down there as well. And we are about ready to start this up. Got my little screen here, just make sure everything registers. So let's do it. All right, lights are on, risers are all working as intended with this crazy light scheme, meaning it's good. And oh, there's HiveOS. All right. Looks like it's loading up. There we go. 5 NVIDIA GPUs. So should be good to go. We're gonna throw this back in there, and once I have it all back in there, we'll be done with this for the day. Probably run some pretty low power stuff for the summer, maybe some RXD on the 2070s, like 50 watts or something, 50, 55. So that'll keep the wattage, you know, for the whole unit probably below 300, which will be good for the summertime. It won't really heat anything. And then, you know, in the winter, I'll probably switch to an algorithm that's a little more power hungry to help heat the space. But I'm thinking I'll do some Radiant for now on this machine, but we'll get it back in there and be right back. And just like that, it's all back together again. Perfect. End table, space heating, crypto miner. Again, this is like my pride and joy. It's not anything special. Like on the inside, it's just 5 GPUs, just an old school gigabyte motherboard. You know, not really even designed for mining. It's never been my most powerful machine, but man, I love it. I mean, what camouflage, you know? Like I said, people either think, oh, it's a subwoofer, or some people do think it's a space heater because they see the fans a little bit. But literally, until I tell people crypto miner, people are like, wait, so your end table looks like an end table, it heats the space, and it makes you money? And again, that's why it's the best out there. So here we go, all plugged up, on again, and there she goes. Like I said, gonna be mining some Radiant, I think, for the summer, just because it's super low wattage. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this content. Curious if anyone else has ever made like a, you know, disguised crypto miner. So, you know, comment down below, maybe share some pictures of your own unique creations for crypto mining. So would love to see what anyone else has done to disguise those crypto miners so that wives, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever you got, let you put it in the living room. So that's it for now. Like, subscribe, and until next time.